Hello, Markee Dragon, also known as Marcus Eikenberry in real life, and welcome to another episode of the Mailbag. It's messages from people like you sent to people like me, well, just me, in my YouTube inbox, and I go through these and I pick a lot of good ones out and we talk about them in episodes. Woohoo! So, anyway, let's head right on into the next thing, which is deep. So, Iranian King, parent problem and suicide thoughts. Now, I can say that I don't really want to get into a whole lot of, counseling or anything like that. I'm not a professional. And if you're having suicidal thoughts, you really should contact a professional right away. Yeah. So, anyway, let me read this off here. Hey guys, I truly love my parents and they love me back, so don't mistake that stuff that I was saying here, okay? Well, today, I got school on Monday, 2 days from now. Well, I ain't from Canada, but it was a ton of troubles to fit into the community when I came here. Oh, so he is not from Canada and he has moved to Canada. And so he says he moved there in grade 8 and now he's in grade 12, which for those of you who are not in the United States or Canada or whatnot, grade 12 is senior, which is the last year of high school for most, and before you go off to college or university. Let's see, one semester done, only 2 left, and starts out on Monday. Well, basically, the problem is they keep raging, they being his parents, they keep raging about how I spend my free time. I've heard stuff like that before. They want me to spend my free time like how my dad does it himself. They want me to not spend my free time on the computer. Yeah, guys, because I like to spend my time on the computer in my free times. As of now, I just finished my final exams. I had 5 days off, 2 days until Monday. I'm beginning a new semester, and then they keep going on about how I spend my time on the computer in my free time. Not to mention, I get 80s to 90s in all of my subjects, became an honor student. The university accepted me 4 months before others since I had such great marks. Yet my parents keep crying about how I spend my free time, which is on the computer. Seriously, because I can't get along with others because I may get in a fight since some people are literally being assholes. And no, I don't get bullied in school. 188 centimeters. I don't know how high that is in feet and inches. Straight guy, so yeah. Any suggestions, guys? They keep pushing me into all these things. Stupid violin classes, which I don't like. I did for 2 years, and I don't like it. Seriously. With all that being said, how I do good in my grade 12, which is now, only 6 months left, is really annoying. And I've even given suicide thoughts a lot. By that I mean, I took a huge kitchen knife at 3 a.m. last night and was thinking about whether or not, goodness, to do it. The other thing that really bothers me is they keep pushing me and annoying me to cut my hairs. Probably means cut his hair. I can be visible when I put my hat on. My dad keeps comparing me to himself and my older cousins that live in Iran. He doesn't understand that I am in Canada, and in order to fit in, which I already did, I need to be like the other kids. Seriously, I'm getting tired of this shit. I already accepted to 2 universities I applied to, and I'm opening engineering, mechanics, electric, etc., plus science courses, biology, and I got scholarships. Seriously, this is getting out of hand. Any comment would be appreciated. I wish other people could understand me better like my parents. Edit. they've been bothering me since grade 8 in Canada. Now I'm grade 12, 4 years. Okay. So, oh, and I forgot to put that up on camera. Well, that's fine. We didn't need to see all the F-bombs in there. Uh, so, here's the deal. And, when I was a kid, when I was a teenager, I had a lot of the same problems that you talk about and everything. I didn't fit in. Mom and dad were always very accepting of me, but they wanted to push for school and everything. And you know what? I think that, I think that you need to sit down with your parents and have a real honest talk with them. You go to them, not them nagging on you, and then you decide to have the conversation. Have the conversation with when things are all going really well. And ask that, you must be about 18 now, 17 or 18, and that I think you need to ask them to really to respect your decisions and to allow you to make mistakes, and that let them know that you really do want their approval, you want to do good for them, but that you need to do it in your own way. I can tell you that for myself, that I had to learn in a way that was much different from everybody else. I actually learned in a way that was to where I would go out and try things, and if I failed at them, I just called it an expensive education. And instead of studying, reading up in books and stuff, I just went out and did. And that didn't always work out, but that was just my style, and that was not my parents' style. You wouldn't believe the trouble that I got in as a kid. And it wasn't until I moved out that I really became good friends with them. But if you're still at home and everything, maybe you just don't have that much more time before you go on to university, especially if the university is not close and you won't be living at home anymore. The other thing is, and this is if you decide to show this to your mom and dad, so I'm speaking to them now, and that is that you don't have control over your kids. You can influence them to grow up to be good adults. You do as much influencing as you can, but when they're not listening, they need to make their own mistakes, and they need to fall down on their face and have to get back up themselves sometimes. And so I know that it can be hard to let go of those reins, but you actually have to make a decision at some point of when they stop becoming your child that you govern, and when they become the adult that is one of your adult kids that you look at as more of an equal. At the age of 12th grade or whatnot, that is right around the time that just for myself that I think that that's a good time to make that switch. And I think that on the part of your son, that he can be willing to do as much as possible to please you guys without taking away from who he is personally. And he sounds like he wants to do a good job and everything. And you at the same time can let up the reins, give him more freedom. There still needs to be rules around the house and everything, but to give him more freedom and allow him to make mistakes. Some of the things that are the best things that I've learned in life are some of the biggest mistakes I ever made. And I pulled some doozies. So, when I was a kid, I got arrested. I tried drugs. I did, alcohol, all that stuff and everything. And I came to a realization that stuff wasn't working for me. And I decided myself to make a difference. And that's when it really, it was a light that went on for me. And so maybe, give up 50% of the control and add that to being a good friend, someone who listens well and then helps guide through issues. And you, Mr. Iranian King, which I don't know your real name. It's just, the name that you put there. I think that your parents. This is another lesson that I learned personally, which is that my parents told me a whole bunch of things that I'm like, oh, that's bullshit. They told me all these things that I just thought was just, so out there, and like I knew right and everything, and it wasn't, I knew best and everything. And when I moved out on my own, I realized that 90% of the stuff that they said, all of a sudden, I agreed with that. And it was because they were right. So there was still some things which I didn't agree with the way that they did it, and I didn't do it that way, and my way still worked. So it was just a disagreement where my way still worked. So we were both right, because there is multiple ways to do things. So anyway, I wish you luck. Suicide is not the answer. I believe that there is some very hard times in each of our lives, we've all been through them. And in fact, maybe you could start with, for getting some more ideas, to go talk with one of the parents of one of your friends about what they would suggest on good things that you could do. Because people who are your parents' peers, like if you have other friends or families that where they're also Iranian, because I believe that probably there's a lot of cultural influence with that they could probably give you some of the best advice. So I wish you luck, and thank you for your message. And okay, so that is it for this episode. Just a single subject. And so check these videos out. Maybe they'll do you some good too. Well, now that you've made it this far, can I interest you in a few more videos? In the upper left, I get questions from people who are really exploring about who they are, what they should do, and the other people around them. And in that video, I really try and explain how you can just be yourself. Don't worry about the BS that other people give you. Just be you and continue forward. In the upper right, you see all that lightning going off? Woo! I am a big fan of hazardous weather. And I filmed this while in Mississippi and set the lightning show to music, hard rock music. So check it out if you want some just creative stuff that I've done. At the bottom left is the mailbag. It's a brand new series that I've just started, and it's where I am reading the mail one by one that comes into my YouTube account. I'm not skipping anything, and I'm not leaving anything out, and just saying it as it is and what comes to my mind. And when we hit one that's really good, the video continues through that one, and we talk about that subject, and then that segment is over. So I've come across quite a few good things from that, and it's been very well received. You should check it out if you want to see what other viewers are saying. And in fact, if you want to send me anything, you can. It will get read. So, and then in the lower right, sometimes we have to deal with really shitty people. And, I explain some of my experiences. I was a bus driver. I got assaulted several times on the bus. I owned a computer store and had abusive customers. And in fact, just the other day, I fired a customer because he was an asshole. So, don't put up with that stuff. Just, make sure that people are respectful of you and have compassion for those other people. So, anyway, enjoy the music on the way out. Make your selection. I'm Markee Dragon. Take care.